Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for Week 9 picks. Sorry we had a little bit of fumble of everything last week. It was kind of crazy, but hopefully we're back on schedule going forward. Um, so with that being said, we still did do our picks and we sent them to each other before Sunday and all that stuff so we can be held accountable. I did hot garbage last week. I went 5 for 11, just terrible. But it was bound to happen. I went 10-5 2 weeks ago, then 11-3 the week before that. So I needed to be brought down a little bit. My head was too high above the clouds. So now I'm back. Don't worry, we're gonna hit it running again.
I did exceptionally bad 2 weeks ago. So bad, I don't even want to get into it. Last week I went 7-9, but let's just say I have completely forfeited the lead of this picks competition, and I am in a distant dead last. That's how bad it was, so you can imagine. I also missed both my locks on the week for the last 2 weeks, which is back to my old ways. I really need to get that right this week. I'm feeling better about it, and right now I am currently 63-64 on the year, one game under 500, and my locks are 3-5.
So I did what I do, and I just went very average. I didn't do awesome, but I went 9-5 week 7, 8-8 week 8. It's all about consistency, I'd say. I think that's the key. You guys are a roller coaster. You guys are a mess.
That's for sure.
Wait, what's your overall, Mr. Rios?
72-58 overall. Slim lead over you guys, but we're gonna try to keep it going this week.
And I don't think I said my overall. So my overall is 67-58. So I'm 9 games above 500. Astrid noted. All
All right,
right.
let's get into this week. I can take this Thursday night game. The Jets are on the road at the Colts. The Jets are kind of a hard team to pick because they don't have very many wins on the year, but they have a couple good wins on the year. And I think last week they got the new quarterback bonus that we've talked about. I think that runs out this week. The Colts are they're kind of just like an underachieving team that's a bad team that's not that bad. It's kind of how I think. They don't close games the way they should, but I think that their roster is the more talented roster between these two teams this week. And so it's a big spread, but I think the Colts, the way they lost that heartbreaker, Carson Wentz can stop being absolutely crazy with the football and throwing left-handed interception, left-handed pick sixes to, throw the game down the gutter last week. If he could just rein it in, which I think the Jets are a team you can do that against. I like them to rally and rebound big at home. So I'm actually taking the Colts minus 10.5, Colts 30, Jets 14.
I feel you. I'm right there with you. I don't trust Carson Wentz at all. I think he's bad, and I want him to be good, kind of, but I don't think he is. And his decision making is not there. He has he's good for one or two plays every week where it's just like he thinks he can do something that he can't, and he like forces something or does. He thinks he can get out of any situation.
Dude, last week I streamed no at the TV before he let that thing go because I could see he was getting Carson Wentzy. I was like, no. You could just tell he gets like panicky or something.
Exactly. So, but I trust the Jets even less. I think, like you said, I think their magic runs out, and I have Indianapolis 27-10 minus 10.5.
You know what? I don't know. Jets have 2 wins this year, right? One against the Tennessee Titans and one against the Cincinnati Bengals. Both really good teams. And I feel like the Jets somehow keep it close against really good teams. I'm not saying they'll win, but I'm saying for somehow, some way, they keep it close against really good teams. So for that, I took the Jets plus 10.5. I think that's a decent amount of points to give them. And I still think they lose, but I only have them losing by a touchdown. And I think it's like 24-24 going into the fourth. And then the Colts score a touchdown and they win 31-24. So give me the Jets plus 10.5.
Awesome. All right, I'll go into the AFC North matchup. We have Cleveland going into Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming off a pretty bad loss. We just talked about that. And Cleveland coming in with some off the field drama. There's some stuff going on there. A couple distractions. Cincinnati is a 3-point favorite at home. I like Cincinnati to win, but I think, divisional matchup, I think it stays close. I'm taking Cleveland +3, but Cincinnati wins 29-27. I think they bounce back from that horrible loss last week. I think they have something to prove.
Ooh. The way I looked at this, I just think that Cincinnati is a better team. And I think that there's too much drama going down in the Browns locker room right now with OBJ and tweeting and his dad tweeting. And I just think it's a hot mess with that offense right now. And that they got Chubb back last week, but, against a really, 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 really good defense, they made him look average. So I'm taking Cincinnati at -3. It is going to be a close game, though, I think so. But I have Cincinnati winning 27-23. Go Bengals. Who dey?
So my pick is more a pick against the Browns offense than it is anything, except for that barn burner against the Chargers where there was just no defense for some reason. The most points they've scored in 5 weeks is 17 points. And I don't think that's going to be – I don't think they're going to have the offense to keep up with Cincinnati. So I like Cincinnati to cover -3. I have Bengals 27, Browns 14.
Nice. All right. I can jump down to Broncos at Cowboys. Right now, Denver is a 10-point dog. I struggled. I don't know. I always think that I kind of go back to the dub every time I think about the double digit stuff. Like double digits, is that too much? For some reason, Cowboys like to be in really close games. And I don't think that changes this week. But I don't know. 10 points is too much for me right now for the Cowboys. Make it easier than hard it is. And so give me the Cowboys to win outright 26-17, but give me Denver +10.
I thought this was a tough one too because I think Denver kind of sent a message to the team that they're kind of mailing it in, with the trading of Von Miller this week. But I also thought I'm actually taking Denver +10 too. I think there might be a little bit of rust or whatever getting Dak Prescott back in the offense, and he might not be 100%. So I'm taking the Cowboys to win at home, but the Broncos they covered. Cowboys 30, Broncos 23.
All right. I looked at the Denver schedule. They haven't beaten a single good team this year, and anybody with a winning record, they've lost. If you look at the teams they beat, all losing teams, probably the 4 worst teams in the league. Dallas comes into this game as the only NFL team left that is still undefeated against the spread. They're 8-0, and I think they keep it going. Give me Dallas -10, 33-17.
All right. Texans on the road at the Dolphins in this week's Who Cares About game. They're both so bad. I think that most would agree that the Dolphins have more talent right now. And although that's not saying a lot, I like the Dolphins at home as a 6.5-point favorite in a low-scoring bad game. Dolphins 20, Texans 6.
Yeah, I got whatever. Miami 21, Houston 17. I got Houston +6.5. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right there with you. I also took the Texans +6.5. I just don't know if there's going to be very many points scored, and for that reason, I kind of kept it close. But give me Texans 10, Dolphins 16. Give me Texans.
That one's hard because it's like, are the defenses worse or the offenses worse?
Yeah, that's perfectly said, my friend.
All right. Carlos, you up or am I up?
I think you're up.
All right. Atlanta heads into the Dome down in New Orleans. New Orleans just came off a big win. They beat Tampa at home. They look like a good team. They have it going. Jameis Winston's out. So I'm curious to see. I think what's his name? Who's starting? Sorry.
Is it Trevor Siemian?
I don't think he is. I think what's his name's coming back.
Taysom Hill?
I think Taysom Hill's coming back. I think that's an issue, but I think I think their defense is good, and I think they're a better team than Atlanta. They're a 6-point favorite, and I think they win by a touchdown. So I have New Orleans 24, Atlanta 17, New Orleans -6.
New Orleans really surprised me last week. So it was kind of, I think, in my opinion, kind of a no-brainer to pick them -6 against the Falcons. I just don't know. I don't think I've watched a minute of any of the Falcons games this year, and with good reason. Like, they're terrible. Who wants to watch them? Except, like, obviously if you're a fan. But
How it's fun to watch.
yeah, I don't know. Give me New Orleans -6, 28-16 outright.
So one time I was flying from Denver to Indiana via Minneapolis, and we were in the boarding area, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, this dude looks so familiar. And I keep looking at him, and I'm like, I think he's an athlete or something. And there was a couple other guys, really big guys, who I didn't recognize. And it was Trevor Siemian, and he sat right behind me on the flight. He did well last week, and the Saints won. I think that Taysom Hill coming back, not only is he coming back into the quarterback role, he's coming back entirely because he's been out with whatever issue. I'm not sure actually what it was that he was dealing with. So he hasn't been in for a while. I think that's going to factor into this game, and I think it's going to be a close division game, kind of one of those down to the wire games. So I'm actually taking Atlanta +6. Saints 21, Falcons 18.
Okay, nice. All right, so next, I will take us to Las Vegas at the G-Men, New York Giants. Right now, Las Vegas is favored by 3 points. The Raiders, I don't know. I was in love with betting with the Raiders, not against them, but with them. We knew that they were going to come back when they fired Gruden. I think that was a pretty good call on our part. And the G-Men are just terrible. I can't believe they gave Kansas City as much as they did, but I feel like everyone's giving Kansas City everything they can handle right now, right? So with that, give me Las Vegas -3, Las Vegas 31, New York 23.
I think it's a little closer than that, but I guess we're about the same. I have Las Vegas 24, Giants 16. I think Las Vegas is just a better team.
I also have the Giants getting 16. I wasn't surprised at their effort there on Sunday Night Football, but I think that they don't have enough again to get it done. So I'm taking the Raiders 30, Giants 16.
That's all right.
All right, I think is it back to me?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or I'll do the Bills at Jacksonville.
There you go.
So this one's frustrating. I was complaining to these guys before we started that I was like 2 weeks ago, I was like, Jacksonville's horrible. There's no way they're going to cover. And then they did fine. And then last week they showed their true colors again, and they were horrible. However, this is a 14.5 point line. I think for the Bills, this is one of those games where you're better than the opponent. You just go in, you do enough to get it done, and you get out of there, and you don't get anybody hurt, and you move on, and you don't worry about it too much. I have the Bills winning convincingly, but not by 14.5. Jacksonville just covering. Bills 30, Jags 16. So I'm actually taking Jacksonville plus 14.5.
I got Bills 30, Jacksonville 20. Same thing. I feel they're going to go in. They're going to score points. And I can see Jacksonville getting some cover some fourth quarter coverage. Come back. Give me Jacksonville 14.5.
I don't know, guys. I feel like every time the Bills have had a decent size spread, they've came back. Oh, well, not came back, but they've covered for me. And that's kind of crazy to say because we don't like those big old spreads. But I just couldn't believe that Jacksonville got killed as badly as they did last week to a much worse Seattle team. So with that, for that reason, I think the Bills come in and they just mop the floor with them. Give me the Bills to cover -14.5. They win 34. I made it a little respectable at 19 for the Jags, but that's just because I was like, well, if they don't cover, I could be like, well, I kind of figured that it would be kind of closer. But I still think that the Bills kill them. Give me the Bills minus 14.5, 34-19.
You don't believe in the Jacksonville home field advantage?
Nope.
All right. New England and Carolina. New England looks good. I think I think they have exceeded. At least my expectations for what they were going to do this year. Mac Jones looks. I think he's the best looking rookie quarterback out of the class so far. Of course, he doesn't have Urban Meyer, so that helps. And honestly, Carolina and Sam Darnold, they look bad. Sam Darnold is back to Jet Sam Darnold, not first 3 weeks of the year Sam Darnold, and it doesn't look good. He's making bad decisions. He's throwing interceptions. He's doing his thing. I like New England. I have New England as a 3.5-point favorite, and I think they cover 24-13.
I totally agree. I was on it's not necessarily Sam Darnold's fault. It's that the Jets suck for like years, but I think I have to get off that take. He's been bad. And the Patriots' defense has been pretty good all year. Now their offense is starting to put it together too. So I think they're really making a run at the playoffs, and I have them winning here too, 28-20.
Yeah, I think Belichick's working his magic over there, with the pieces that he has. And I agree with Rios. I everything you said. I'm taking New England minus 3.5. Give me the Pats to win 26-20. I did hear McCaffrey might play. He was a participant today in practice, but they're going to limit his reps. What that means, I don't know. If he's 100%, he's not. But I just think that they might test him early to see how he's feeling, and then after that, they might just be like, all right, like, let's give him some more time and bring him back like 100% next week, which I think would be the smart thing to do. So give me New England minus 3.5, 26-20.
All right. Carlos?
All right, next, I have the Vikings at Baltimore. Right now, Baltimore is a 6-point favorite. I think everyone kind of knows how I feel about Baltimore at this point. I like to, I guess, make note that the Steelers are not the worst in the division right now, so I'm really happy about that. I'm not saying they're definitely not the best, but we didn't lose to the Jets. So the Vikings, I think the Vikings have been in the closest game, or like have had the most like closest games this entire year. I feel like every week the freaking Vikings are like either going to go into overtime or winning or losing by a field goal. So with that being said, 6 points, even though Baltimore is at home, I think it's too much. I think the Vikings keep it kind of close. Vikings 23, Baltimore 27, they win, whatever. I didn't really want to give them the outright win, but I think Minnesota covers +6.
This was the hardest game for me to pick, I think, this week. I think both teams are good. I think Baltimore, I think they're going to come out, they're going to score. Minnesota just came off like a tough game against they came out of a tough game against the Cowboys, and I think they bounce back though. I think they go in, I think they run the ball, they control the game, and I think they win outright. I have Minnesota winning 27-24, Minnesota +6.
I think that the Vikings are the biggest frauds in the entire NFL, and they're the biggest underachievers. I was the only one who picked them last week, and it was my only chance to rally and try to gain some ground on you guys. And those frauds couldn't beat some rookie, whatever, Cooper Rush out of whatever MAC school he's from. They're complete frauds.
Dallas is probably the most talented team in the NFL right now.
Dallas is really good.
They got a squad, especially on defense too.
Listen,
they got a team on defense.
Listen, Dallas is good, but Minnesota wants to walk around like they're a playoff team, and you have to win games against backups who have had 3 pass attempts in their life in the NFL. You have to win games like that. They can't do it. They're frauds. Baltimore is winning this game. The Ravens 30, Vikings 17. Give me Baltimore -6 all day.
I did see what made me laugh pretty hard was Kirk Cousins is getting paid a total of like $33 million this year, something crazy like that, and he just lost a super close game to like a backup quarterback. I thought that was pretty funny. But I think either way, even if the Vikings are going to lose, which they like have been doing, they're going to lose close.
They're gonna get crushed.
The problem with Kirk Cousins is the amount of money they're paying him is really hurting the team around him because I don't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's the type of quarterback that needs more weapons or more protection. He needs a perfect scenario. I think Kirk Cousins
He has offensive weapons.
He needs everything to be perfect. Like Kirk Cousins is the type of quarterback where when everything's going well, everything's perfect, he's going to be awesome. And as soon as stuff breaks down, he's not. So I think he's getting paid too much money. I think he needs all his offensive weapons, like they're good, but I mean they're on rookie contracts and stuff. Like Justin Jefferson's awesome. Dalvin Cook is awesome when he stays healthy. Adam Thielen is doing all right, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know what's missing, but something's missing there because
they beat the Panthers in overtime, who we think suck. They kicked like a 60-something whatever yard field goal to beat the Detroit Lions, who suck, and they beat. The only good win on the year is against Seattle. I'm disappointed.
not a good win. They suck.
All close games. It's going to be close.
Nah, they're going to get crushed. All right. Chargers on the road against the Eagles. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the next game. Is it you? Go ahead.
Yeah,
I think it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers on the road against the Eagles. So the Eagles beat the hell out of the Lions last week, and it might appear that they're good, but I don't think they are. And I think they're going to struggle this week against the Chargers, even at home. The Eagles have beat the Falcons and the Panthers this year, other than like Detroit, like I said last week. Los Angeles is coming off a hard-fought game, loss at home against the Patriots, and I think they get things back on track against an inferior opponent. So I'm taking the Chargers 28, Eagles 19, LA +1 or -1.5. +1.5?
-1.5.
-1.
Okay, I'll piggyback off of what he said. I agree with everything. I think the Chargers find a way to get it done. I think they're much better than a -1.5 favorite, but I guess you could see the Eagles being at home. It's really 4.5. But still, I think the Chargers come back. They get it done. They win outright, 26-23. Give me Chargers -1.5.
I think and this is going to contradict my pick, but you were talking about biggest frauds in the league. I think the Chargers are the biggest fraud in the league. I think they came in, everyone thinks they're good. They had a couple good games and mark-out wins, close losses, and I mean, I don't think they're good. I think they're frauds. But Philadelphia, I'm almost positive is not good. So I completely agree. They had a couple good games, and I think we're high on them based on what's happened recently. But I don't think they come out and play. I have the Chargers winning 23-18. Give me the Chargers -1.5. That one was hard for me.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. This is the big news story of the day and the week probably. Green Bay's going into Kansas City. Aaron Rodgers list. Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for COVID. Apparently he's not vaccinated. He is immunized. That's what he said. But because of that, Kansas City is a 7-point favorite. They haven't been playing well. I will say they have been playing tough teams. I mean, they got beat up by the Titans without. I guess they had Mahomes for most of the game, but either way, that was a bad game. They struggled against the Giants. They lost to the Chiefs. They're letting teams score a lot of points, and they're not looking hot. But I think Kansas City comes out. I think they have something to prove, and I think they're playing. I think without Aaron Rodgers on the field, I think that's a completely different Green Bay team. I think as far as like players' importance to a team, I would say Aaron Rodgers probably, top, if not the most important to his team. He's up there. So I think Kansas City wins. I think they win by 8. I have them winning 30-22. Kansas City -7.
I think that what you said, I'm going to hit on. The Chiefs are letting teams score too many points, and I think they're going to let the Packers actually hang around in this. And I think Jordan Love's going to have some of that first start magic, scramble around, have some 40-yard run or something like that. So I actually think it's going to be one of those weird games where the Chiefs let the Packers hang around. I have the Chiefs winning, but I'm taking the Green Bay +7. Chiefs 27, Packers 24.
See, I agree with everything you're saying. It's kind of crazy for me to even think this, but the way Patrick Mahomes' year is going, I just want to say he's bad. He is bad.
Oh, you're
He's
one
not
of
bad.
those.
He's bad.
not bad.
Okay, I'll say he's bad this year.
He's not bad.
He's terrible this year.
Things are complicated.
Oh yeah, it's the NFL. Everything's complicated.
I know. That's why I'm saying I don't think you can just look at 8 games and be like, he's bad.
I literally make fun of the people who have this take all the time.
Dude, he's playing terrible, and he has such a squad around him. There's no reason for him to be playing as bad as he's playing. Is there?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to win in the NFL. He'll be fine.
I think the Packers have a very talented team. They're getting back Adams, and I agree. I don't know if that Kansas City defense is going to do enough to give them a 7-point favorite here. So I'll take the Packers also +7, 17-23. And I think Patrick Mahomes throws another interception in this game. So does it make it 5 in a row or something like that?
That's fine.
I don't know.
They're gonna.
Yeah, his interceptions are definitely up, but I think he'll be all right.
He'll be good.
There's too much drama at home with all the
I think
TikTok
Label became
wordies.
a bust after Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP is a little much.
Yeah, it's the Madden curse is doubling up on him. 2 covers back to back. That's it. He's dead. There's no more Patrick Mahomes after this.
You don't sound smart saying he's bad after he's won a Super Bowl and an MVP.
Well, we'll see.
He's throwing too many interceptions, but his completion percentage is the highest it's ever been in his career. He's thrown 19 touchdowns before the halfway point of the season. His yards per attempt is above the league average. He'll be fine.
Good. His defense is bad. They put him in bad positions.
Yeah.
He tries to do too much.
Anyways, keep going. Keep going. Pissing me
All
off.
right, next. Well, I'll take the next one because I'm sure you're going to want the one after that one, right, Rios?
Yeah, I'll take that Sunday night.
Okay, so I'll take us down to the Cardinals at the 49ers. We talked about this game for about 5-10 minutes before we started recording, just because we had no idea what the fuck was going on. How the hell were the Cardinals 1-point underdog at the 49ers? We found out that Kyler Murray was possibly hurt, but should play. I still don't see how, even if Kyler Murray's out, they're still a 1-point dog to the 49ers. But if you're going to give me the Cardinals at +1, if you got it early enough, that's what it was. Cardinals +1. I think I'm going to take that almost all the time right now.
And for the record, it's -1 now.
Yeah, it's -1 now.
I still think that's a close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little generous. But if you got it at +1, good for you. But I think the Cardinals struggled a little bit last week, but that was against an Aaron Rodgers-led team. Yeah, they were missing some weapons, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. I think you can put him out there with very mediocre wide receivers, and I still think he'll have a good game. But I think the Cardinals come back. They definitely win this close kind of divisional game. But give me the Cardinals 26, the 49ers 24. Cardinals win +1.
I agree. I think the Cardinals are going to be fine. They threw that game away literally in the last second there, having a chance to win it with some miscommunication and a bad interception. But they lost to a good Green Bay team. I'm not going to kill them for that. I still think they're one of the top teams in the league, and they have a really good defense. And I would be I'm all over Arizona as an underdog for this pick competition. So I actually think it's gonna be a close game. Another one of those close division type games on the road and stuff like that. But I'm taking Arizona +1, Cardinals 30, 49ers 28.
All right. So I'm picking Arizona +1 as well, and it's not gonna hurt me because you guys picked the same as I did. But I am very skeptical. I have like the gamblers, conspiracy theory thing going on in my head where I think Vegas knows something we don't know, and these lines like this, they do creep me out. So I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco wins this first somehow. But I have Arizona winning 28-21, so Arizona +1. I'll roll right into Sunday night game. Tennessee is going into Los Angeles. They're playing at SoFi. Tennessee is without Derrick Henry. He's out for at least 6 weeks, according to reports. And the Rams picked up Von Miller at the trade deadline. He should be playing. He's coming off of a injury, I think, and he's supposed to play this week. So I'm excited to see how that whole thing works out. I think Leonard Floyd's playing really well on the edge for the Rams, and obviously Aaron Donald's there, and he's taking up blocks. So I'm excited to see how this game goes. I think if Derrick Henry plays, it's probably a 2 or 3 point spread, but he's not. So it's the Rams -7.5, and I'm gonna take it. I think the Rams win. I think they win convincingly. I have the Rams winning 34-17 at home. Rams -7.5.
I agree with everything you said. It looks like Tennessee picked up Adrian Peterson. The man's like almost 40 years old or something, right? I wonder like how much he'll be able to do with such short notice. I'm sure he's in shape, but it's the Rams defense. Like, not anyone or everyone can run against him, and I'm worried for the man. What if he gets hit by Aaron Donald like at full throw? Like, I don't know. It's gonna be a fun matchup to see. I don't think Tannehill's gonna do anything special, especially not against that Rams secondary. So I'm also taking the Rams -7.5. Give me the Rams 28, Tennessee 19.
I'm taking Tennessee. I think for the Rams, it's going to be – so the Rams haven't played anybody good in a long time. That's not their fault, and good teams win, and they beat the opponent who's lined up in front of them, so I'm not going to kill them for that. But I think it's going to be one of those games where they're on the road. They haven't played anybody good in a while. I think Tennessee is a better opponent than they face, and they're just going to take a while to get their foot on the gas and get things going. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee goes up a little bit early and the Rams kind of have to take over the game and score – midway or early in the fourth quarter or something to take the win. So I have a relatively low-scoring game, and I think it's going to be Rams by a touchdown. So I have Rams 27, Titans 20.
They're playing in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Sorry, I read that wrong. Well, it's too late to change now.
Also, adding on to it, last week Tennessee beat Indianapolis, and they looked good. Indianapolis took away Derrick Henry, at least, or maybe he was hurt already, but they did their best to take away, and they got beat by A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown went out, and he had a lot of receiving yards. I think the Rams are well-equipped to handle
Brown and Jones,
the wide receiver score, so there's another thing. And, yeah, they're playing in SoFi, so yikes.
Big yikes.
Carlos, you want to handle Monday night?
I think, Doug, you want to finish this off? Or no. Never mind. It's definitely me. Sorry, guys.
I'll go ahead. You pipe
No. Okay. I apologize. So Monday night, we got the Chicago Bears at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh right now is favored -6.5. Boy, didn't those Steelers look good last week?
No.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
It was. If I'm being completely honest, I was like in Mexico, so I honestly didn't watch very much of the game. I watched the highlights. The defense came up for us when they needed to. I was very happy about that. Kind of kept Baker in check and Chubb as well. And then OBJ and Landry had some key drops for us there in the fourth quarter. So I was was happy about that, and I'm glad that can add to their turmoil over there. But our defense looked great. A lot of people have been talking about Big Ben and how he's looking better. He's looking more comfortable. He's, I don't know, getting the ball out quicker to his receivers and stuff. So I'm pretty happy. And Najee Harris has found his groove. He is now starting to perform, I think, at where I hoped he would. And he's just solidifying that first round pick for us. So with that being said, I think our defense gives the Bears a lot of trouble. I'm not sure how Mr. Justin Field is gonna stack up against getting rushed by everyone and their mom over there in Pittsburgh. I am kind of sad we did trade Melvin Gordon for not Melvin Gordon, Ingram, one of our other outside rushers. But that's neither here nor there. We're stacked on defense. It's okay. Give me Pittsburgh -6.5. Pittsburgh wins 27-13.
I'm gonna lead this off by saying I don't think Pittsburgh's good, and I think they came off last week. Like if you look at my notes, you guys probably read it, but it said.
Well, we had a bye. We had plenty of time to.
It was a bit like I think I picked the Steelers last week, but I think that was just a big brother game. You know, like the Steelers are gonna go into Cleveland. That's their little brother. They're gonna go in there. They're gonna bully him.
Yeah, it was our revenge game for getting killed in the playoffs.
With that being said, Justin Fields looks bad. Is Matt Nagy back? Because if Matt Nagy's back, there's no way Chicago is even getting close. But I do have it kind of close. I have Pittsburgh winning by a touchdown. So 24-17, Pittsburgh -6.5.
Yeah, this is the prime time excitement of two completely inept offenses going head to head. Both teams are averaging less than 20 points. Actually, they're averaging less than 19 points a game this year. And I think it'll be around there. So I don't think the Bears are going to be able to score. And so that's why I'm going to take Pittsburgh -6.5, even though I'm only giving them 20 points. So I have the Steelers 20, Bears 10.
Yeah, not super excited for that one. I don't think that's going to be definitely not.
I like defense.
I'll be
or
okay
bad
if
offense.
If there's a blowout, I'll be perfectly fine if there's a blowout.
I mean, also the days of the Chicago Bears defense being good, that's gone. They're not good either. Khalil Mack's out there, but I mean their defense.
Their offense puts them in pretty tough situations, but you're right.
All right.
Picks. Locks.
Picks. Good luck, guys. And now we'll move on to our locks of the week. I went 8-8 last week, which sad to say, but that was the best record for us. And
big bounce back week this week.
Yeah, hopefully. I missed my lock last week. Last week I had Cincinnati. Cincinnati -10.5. So that didn't hit. We're looking to bounce back this week. I'm choosing what I think is a decent team against what I think is a bad team to win by more than a field goal. So give me Las Vegas over the Giants -3. Lock of the week.
Yeah, my locks of the weeks, the last 2 weeks, have gotten beat by like 40 points each game. So I had the Lions last week, and that's all I'll say about that. So I'm going to get back on track here with, I think, the weirdest spread of the week as Arizona as an underdog. So give me Arizona +1 as my lock.
Something weird's going to happen that game, dude.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like kind of like leaning towards you now in Vegas and like okay, something's up, right? They're going to fix it somehow.
Sorry, Cardinals fans. I picked you.
All right. So I did the worst last week, so I'm going last. I took the Los Angeles Chargers at -1.5 against the Eagles as my lock. I just think they're a better team, and the Eagles, I don't know. Just give me the Chargers -1.5, right? Enough said.
Don't ask me. Just take it.
Yeah, just bet on it if you want to make
We're here to give picks, not reasons.
Yeah, there you go. Damn right. We already covered it. We already covered it.
All right, big bounce back week this week, boys. I'm catching up.
Yeah, good luck, guys. Let's try to do better than 500 this week. Positive on that.
All right.
We're like right in the middle of the season now too, and we're like, it's going to take a couple of weeks for us to really get our bearings and start seeing who's a good team and who's not. And then like week 8 was just dog shit for all of us.
Kind of weird year.
Yeah, and also So this episode should be out just in time for us to watch the Jets-Indianapolis game. Exciting stuff.
And keep your eye out for our power rankings. I'll be tweeting those out here shortly after I crunch the numbers.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Have a good one.